Sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that don't come from movies or games, but from the internet, a strange, cryptic corner of our world of entertainment, where reality and fiction blur, where what you see is only the beginning of something that can become much, much deeper. In the early 2000s, a mysterious ARG, that's alternate reality game for anyone who doesn't already know, appeared, sending shockwaves through the online community. The strange, fragmented narrative left players questioning what was real. Who was Mary? And what secrets was the internet hiding? Well, hello there everyone. My name is Falcon, and welcome back to What Am I Watching? I'm so pleased to have you here this evening, and even more so, to be your narrator. Today we'll be diving into the chilling world of Hi, I'm Mary Mary, its eerie production, twisted storytelling, and the public's reaction to its bizarre online presence. ARGs, or alternate reality games, have always fascinated players with their ability to blur the line between fiction and reality. They're immersive, interactive, and often require players to engage in a mix of online and real-world activities. Hi, I'm Mary Mary emerged in 2003, a time when ARGs were just beginning to take hold, with games like The Beast from the movie AI already gaining attention. What made Hi, I'm Mary Mary stand out was a minimalistic and cryptic approach. Unlike other ARGs that involved elaborate puzzles and multiple sources of social media, Hi, I'm Mary Mary began simply with a tweet. A message. Hello? Is anyone there? The tweets themselves were basic. Just a few images, fragmented texts, and eerie lo-fi visuals. It seemed like a personal blog, but something felt off. The language was deliberately odd, and the content was disturbing, hinting at darker undertones. It was clear from the start that this wasn't an ordinary internet experience. The tweets were only the beginning. Players soon realized the game was more than just a story told with cryptic snippets. It was a full-on experience. It required players to piece together clues from various sources, from random tweets, and then videos from the character Mary. The mystery unfolded through these small, unsettling fragments. Every step felt like a breadcrumb leading deeper into the unknown. At its core, Hi, I'm Mary Mary was about one thing, one complicated thing. Mary. But who exactly was she? Mary appeared to be a troubled young woman, isolated and spiraling into an unsettling descent. As players interacted with her videos and tweets, following the narrative, they uncovered chilling details about her life. Clues hidden in her fragmented diaries, cryptic messages, and unsettling images. The story, being fragmented and non-linear, forced players to piece together Mary's dark past and her present. She described herself as being trapped, mentally unwell, and haunted by forces she couldn't escape. Was Mary a victim? A perpetrator? Or a figment of someone's imagination? One of the most disturbing aspects was her portrayal of depression and the many things affecting her mental state, along with hints of a troubled psychological state. There were mentions of disconnection, being watched, and losing herself. It felt like Mary was reaching out to the players, telling them about her life, but also trying to draw them into her own madness. The character of Mary Mary was complex, sympathetic, yet terrifying. She was an unreliable narrator, and it wasn't clear if she was a real person or an elaborate construction. Her mental state was central to the story, and as players continued to interact with her, they became more involved in her fractured world. The deeper they went, the more they uncovered about her twisted reality. There's also the question of who is behind Mary. Was it an individual or a group of people playing a game with its viewers? There were whispers of dark organizations, even online cults, and others involved in the ARG, but the answers were always unclear, adding to the growing sense of paranoia. Okay, breaking the script here for a moment. Hi, I'm Mary Mary has been analyzed by many people and channels throughout the years. Something I picked up on with her story were the chapters about addiction. I haven't seen many, if any others, bring this up. I'm not sure if her story was meant to be up for interpretation or not, but my interpretation of the garden is that her visits to such a place were either her on antidepressants or more recreational drugs. Not being able to control when she gets back from the garden, the gradual intensifying difficulty getting there, its shortness, not being able to bring things back from the garden, and more, lead me to this perception of what the garden really is. I just wanted to put that out there. For anyone who followed Mary Mary, can you let me know in the comments what you thought the garden was? Okay, with that out of the way, let's continue mostly unspoiled. When Hi, I'm Mary Mary first appeared, its impact was immediate, but it wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms. Early reactions were mixed. Some players were hooked immediately by the eerie atmosphere and sense of involvement. They became obsessed with solving the mystery, diving deeper into the strange world of Mary. Others, however, found the experience too unsettling, too vague, or too disturbing to engage with. On internet forums, people debated whether Hi, I'm Mary Mary was an ARG or just a hoax. Some thought it was a social experiment, an intentional provocation to mess with people's heads. The game's minimalism was both a strength and a weakness. The lack of concrete answers kept people intrigued, and others frustrated. The use of personal trauma in a story like this also sparked some criticism. Many players felt uncomfortable with themes of mental illness being presented in such an abstract and eerie way. It blurred the lines between entertainment and exploitation to some, especially since Mary's experiences were so fragmented and unclear. Whether this was just a well-written story or a content creator writing what they were going through at a time is not clear, but I choose the latter. However, both are more than welcome in my mind. Hi, I'm Mary Mary gained a cult following. Its submersive nature attracted those who loved the unpredictability of the experience. The game didn't hold players' hands, it didn't explain itself, and it didn't try to be fun in the traditional sense. It was unnerving, unsettling, and that's exactly why people kept coming back. Today, Hi, I'm Mary Mary is often remembered as one of the early examples of an ARG that truly explored psychological horror. It's still discussed in niche circles, as it should be, and its influence can be seen in other works that blend fiction and reality. ARGs like Seven Board or Daisy Brown. Many have revisited the game with a new understanding of its themes, or have come back all these years later only to pick up on new elements they missed when it was originally coming out. What initially felt like disjointed, cryptic fragments is now seen as a commentary on isolation, the internet's dark corners, and the way people interact with trauma online. Hi, I'm Mary Mary was a game about so many things: being alone, being watched, not having control, not being accepted in social situations, public perceptions of beauty, and much, much more. Its legacy is indeed a complicated one. The game's unfinished nature combined with the ambiguity of its ending means it can still raise more questions than it answers. For some, that's part of the charm. For others, it's a lingering frustration. As for yours truly, I love it. Leave it open-ended for us. Leave it open to interpretation. If that was the intent, I love it all. And all that's coming from someone who hated Prometheus. So what is Hi, I'm Mary Mary? Was it an ARG? A social experiment? A form of self-help? Or something else entirely? The mystery remains. and that's what keeps it fascinating. If you've never seen it before, consider visiting the remnants of Mary's World yourself. If you have seen it, I highly recommend watching it again. I guarantee you will walk away with things you didn't the first time. I want to thank you all for watching this far into the video. If you did enjoy this dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more analysis on obscure corners of the internet. If you had any suggestions for a future video, please leave it in the comments below. I do plan on keeping on top of things and uploading weekly. Expect a mix of analysis from things like Hi, I'm Mary Mary, to movies like Session 9, an older horror film that aged like wine, to real-life mysteries, both solved and unsolved. Cheers, everyone. I will catch you in the next one. If you've never seen it before, convisitor, that's a word. Did you know I used to be an English teacher? Convisitor. Disconnection. Being watched. And that's my phone going off. Of course it's going to go off right now. Yeah, let's try that again.